We are the Long Island Tea, where we spill the tea.
It's true. We're from Long Island, so we say, how you doing? How you doing?
I don't.
We're in the middle of the vines.
Yes.
Because it's Memorial Weekend. So
It's
there's
kickoff. We're here. It's summertime. Long Island Wine of the Week.
I'm thankful for our hot teas.
Yes. That's like such a Long Island thing.
We're just talking about real life.
Right.
That's what we do. Welcome back to Long Island Tea, where we spill the tea on living your best Long Island life, which Sharon and I are doing today. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Sharon. Whoop, whoop.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
It's been quite the week.
Quite the week.
It's like a monumental. We just had a big surprise celebration with the staff.
Yes.
And we popped some champagne.
And it was like truly the football coach Gatorade spilling. Like I loved it.
I popped the champagne. It went everywhere.
All over you. And I loved it.
It was like, okay. And luckily, Michael and Bree were filming, as they always are, a social media team. So I don't know where that's going to end up.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
But what an incredible week. I got to fix. Michael comes in right before the party. He's like, okay, great. That we're going to do the podcast right after. And did you read the notes? I'm like, sure didn't.
Nope. Didn't even touch them. But
I have no, because you know what? We just have a lot to talk about.
We do. And we'll touch on their notes because we always do.
It's been a truly historic week here. We've been kind of teasing it for a while.
Little subliminal messaging, right?
That we've been talking about Convention Center. And we've been talking about, funding for tourism promotion and cultural preservation here on Long Island. And the fact that, it's so weird when you travel to destinations, when you go to a hotel or go to a rental car, look at your bill.
Right.
Okay? Because when you travel and you look at your bill, and I travel a lot, as you know.
Yes.
And I've been saving my bills from all over the country. And you look at the end number and the taxes and the fees that they add, which, as most people who travel normally know, that's part of travel.
Right.
You book on a rate.
You
book on a rate, and there's travel and there's fees and taxes. Now, hopefully there's not huge resort fees.
I was just going to say, sometimes they're resort fees, sometimes they're parking fees, sometimes.
And in resort fee, there's usually a tax on that fee.
Right.
That's the slap in the face when there's a resort fee and a tax on that fee. But that's just a normal part of travel, and the average is double digits, right? That you pay on your rate. Here on Long Island, it's been 3%, which is the only tax on Long Island that's crazy low.
Right.
And it's one that we don't pay.
Right. Residents do not pay. Yeah.
Unless we stay locally, which we might once a year. Right. And so we just got it raised for the first time in 15 years. Cheers. We're drinking some champagne. Woo-hoo. And not just raised, but raised for the purposes of doing transformational things on Long Island. Number one, creating a funding mechanism to build Long Island's first convention center,
which we have been waiting for. I mean, that was one of the first things you said, that your vision, Long Island needs a true resort and convention center here on Long Island. And 7 years later,
it's so crazy. Well, when
putting our feet in the water.
I know. Thank you. And cheers to the whole. I said in our party, this would not happen without the entire Discover Long Island team, because to give people the confidence in the work that we're doing. And it also increases our budget, by the way, because if you build a convention center, you can't keep it a secret, turns out. You have to actually promote it and promote the destination. I feel like, do I have an echo now? A little bit?
A little bit.
Mine sounds echoey. Anyway, no, I'm going to get closer. So, is it because we're too close together?
I think so, yeah.
Ooh. Okay. So anyway, you have to promote a convention center, and conventions are booked, 3 to 5 years in advance. So we're already booking conventions.
Well, I think that's an important piece to this, is how much business we've lost in the years of, marketing and promoting Long Island because we didn't have the space to fulfill. Now, these companies are booking their conventions 3 to 5 years in advance. So this is definite business booked.
It's crazy.
3 to 5 years.
The amount of business that we have had to turn away every single day since I started here, and we started tracking it. And when I last looked, it was over $35 million.
Right.
And that's people that just call us. That's
Right.
not business that we're actually trying to get.
Right.
And then they choose somewhere else.
Right.
That's people that just call us and say, we want to come to Long
We
Island.
have
And we
this
have to be
meeting.
like, no,
Yeah. Sorry.
can't come here.
Sorry.
We don't have the space.
Right.
And so it's just going to be, it's so funny. Like when I was in Pittsburgh at my meeting there, I came to the airport and I was like, it's kind of crowded here. And some guy in front of me at security was like, oh, you don't even know. There's about to be 12 charter buses that are pulling up here. Mm-hmm. And they're going to unload all these people. I'm like, who is it? And they're like, oh, it's the National Dick's Sporting Goods Managers Convention.
Right.
And we've been here in Pittsburgh all week. And I'm like, that's on my list. And then I was at my Hallmark store buying one of my like fabulous pillows and Long Island pillows.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, where were you last week? He's like, oh, I was in Atlanta for the National Hallmark Stores Convention owners. And you don't even realize every convention, every industry and every sector that we're just not getting.
Touching.
We're just completely missing out on.
Completely missing out. And how many huge companies have their corporate offices here right on Long Island?
Right.
1-800-Flowers.
Oh my gosh, Estee Lauder.
I mean, Canon. It's unbelievable.
And we were talking to the landlords of our business today. Jeff, who was a hot tea, by the way.
Shout out to Jeff.
So cute. And he was like, "Did you know that the Hop Hog Industrial Park we're sitting? It was the first planned industrial park in the nation. I mean, we were the first suburb."
Yeah.
In the country too, so that's not surprising to me. We have aerospace manufacturers. That call I just got was for a new program that the Navy is doing, an apprenticeship program on Long Island, where they're training people that can work on naval yards across the country, and but not have to necessarily join the Navy.
Right.
And I'm like, the amount of business that takes place here, and the fact that we're not inviting businesses here.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a game changer of epic proportions, and it also finally aligns our tourism marketing budget with, some of our counterparts.
Our competitive.
Not even still, really, to be honest. Most of them are in double digits, but it actually just allows us to compete.
Right.
And
it allows us our foot in the door, finally.
And by the way, I know one of the concerns for Long Islanders, and I totally understand, it's not about getting more visitors here and overwhelming our residents with visitors. That's absolutely not. We live here too.
Right.
This is our home.
We want to preserve and we love Long Island.
Absolutely. And so this is about targeting and inviting the right visitors that we want
at
during
the right time.
Correct. When we need them midweek, off season, to areas of the island that aren't overwhelmed.
Over tourism, yeah.
Yes. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to get strategic. And I'm so excited because I know it was such a difficult decision to raise a tax anytime,
Sure.
But I so applaud Suffolk County Executive Steve Malone, our board member, the incomparable Chief County Deputy Executive Lisa Black.
Oh, she's so amazing.
She's literally a queen, and our entire board of directors.
Absolutely.
And every stakeholder that came out and support the labor unions.
The labor unions. That's what I was going to say before. You were talking about what did you call them?
Stakeholders.
The Navy.
Oh, a naval.
What are they called?
Apprentices. Yeah.
He was talking about apprenticeship.
Oh.
For the unions and
the jobs this is going to create.
Exactly.
And the labor unions came out in such support of this and understanding.
He even said, I'm not bringing my army here. It's me. I'm here.
That was a move when he was like, I would just like the record to state, I represent 65,000 members of Long Island labor. And I chose not to fill the room to make it a circus, but I could.
Right.
And I was like,
right.
Woo-hoo!
And
don't mess with labor.
He was in support, and thank you to the labor unions. And
thank you,
everyone
truly
who
to everyone
came out in support.
And by the way, not every destination has the understanding of labor and how tourism impacts the economy and creates jobs. So we are so lucky here on Long Island. Our community is so. They're involved, they're engaged, everyone cares about what we're doing and wants to make sure that we're preserving the quality of life that we have and that we're creating a sustainable economy that will help future generations be able to live and survive and thrive on Long Island. And that's what we helped do this week. And it happened.
Cheers!
And by the way, they said it couldn't be done. Girl. They said it could not be done.
Glass ceiling, maybe? I don't know.
That's funny. I told you, I was telling the team earlier that, I like to make a wish at 11:11. I'm a total nerd. You know, everybody that listens, all the hot teas know that I'm pretend to be a skeptic, but I totally read my horoscope and do the crystal thing and make wishes. And I had to change my wish today because I've been wishing for this for so many years.
I know.
And my wish came true.
And what a good feeling, right?
I was like, who gets to say that? It's not often that you get to say, I had to change my wish because my wish came true.
Oh,
I just feel so lucky. And so here's the other funny thing. Speaking of like universe and crystals, as you know, I was supposed to be at the CEO summit.
Yes. Unfortunately, the Mercury was in retrograde at that moment.
So I was supposed to go to the annual meeting this week of my peers. And the vendors that serve us nationally, and on the board of Destinations International, my board meeting and everything, I was supposed to go on Sunday. It actually happened on Monday, but I had to get there on Sunday in order to get there in time. And I was I talked about in the last pod, I was kind of stressed because it's over spring break, and I was going to miss spending spring break with the girls. And I was kind of bummed about it, but it's important. And so I was like, fine, I'll spend the time doing it. And then sure enough, I wake up on Sunday, flight canceled.
I know.
And there's no alternative. I'm like,
well, because it's like planes, trains, and automobiles, like you said. I mean, you literally have to take a seaplane. I had to take a ferry
to get to, wherever it was in BC, and then whatever. And it couldn't get me there. And and then there was one flight that day on JetBlue. And I was like, fine, okay, I'll book this flight one way on JetBlue. And I was going through booking the whole thing, and I went to click pay. And as I clicked pay, I was like, flight's gone.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. And the next one wouldn't get me in until Tuesday at noon. And I was like, well, by then it's not worth my time. I'm not going to travel across the country.
To turn it back around.
Yeah. And so I had to cancel the whole thing. And I told my mother-in-law, I was like, listen, I talked to her on Sunday night. I'm like, there's a reason. The universe is telling me not to go.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, Kristen, that crystal podcast, those crystals are getting to you. And I was like, no, I really think so. And then sure enough, we got here on Monday to some other really big news regarding Nassau County, which is also equally important to us. And we're super excited to work with them and represent them. And so we've got some big projects coming up there.
Yeah.
And then we had our vote on Tuesday. And then, get this. So I was able to be here on Monday because it was spring break, and Tegan was going to the city with her friends.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. Because I remember Catherine Kennedy was saying she went to the city when she was 15.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, 15, girl?
Yeah.
And so Tegan's 15, almost 16, and most of her friends are 16, but they went to the city for the first time by themselves. I mean, it's
a big deal for you, but
yeah, Michael says he was 15.
Yeah, so I was 15.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. It's a big deal. They were all scared.
I mean, my parents didn't know, like Catherine's, but
your parents didn't know?
No.
Well, I knew because Tegan tells us,
right.
She tells me everything.
Right.
And they're all parents knew.
Because here it's so easy. You literally jump on the Long Island Railroad.
Long Island Railroad. It is.
It's so easy.
It's so easy. And they went to Penn. They wanted to go to Cornelia Street because Taylor Swift song. So they had to go. They had to go to Cornelia Street, and they went to Italy, and they had to go to Glossier and all those places. And what an incredible... When I'm watching her leave on the train, and it was so cute because they're just Long Island girls, all of them, and they were all nervous.
Yeah, of course, it's their first time.
They're all nervous to go by themselves, and I was like, because they were taking a taxi for the first time by themselves. It was a big deal.
Yeah,
and I was like, girls, remember, like kids grow up in New York City every day, and this is what they do. They walk the city.
They take the subway.
They live there.
Yeah,
and they were like, yeah. And then her friend Ava was like, I have good news. That there are restrooms on the Long Island Railroad. I'm like, of course there are.
Yeah.
She's like, I wasn't sure.
Got to find the right part. Yeah.
She's like, they're in odd number cars. I'm like, that I didn't know. Did not know that. So it was really cute. So then they got there. So I was able to take them, which was fun.
Yeah.
And then I was picking her up at like 7. And so I don't mean to drag the story on forever, but it was so funny. They went to Italy. I love their stories. Michael, I wonder if you'll relate to this because, I told you. Tegan, she's on a budget.
Yeah.
Tegan's on a budget.
Yeah.
A lot of girls get their parents' credit cards.
Right.
On Long Island, especially. And I don't do that. Like, Tegan doesn't have my credit card. She's got her own debit card.
Yeah.
And she puts her own money in there. And it's not easy keeping up with the Joneses. And so they were kind of stressing over where they were going to eat. And they wanted to eat these restaurants. And Tegan was like, girl, those are $35 entrees. Who's paying for lunch? Exactly. She was like, what? I can't afford that.
Oh, my God.
So they decided to go to Italy. And Tegan was telling the story later. And she was like, we had the bread service down.
Ooh.
Okay. She's like, the free bread. She's like, what we did is we asked a different person every time. We would ask like the busboys, can we get some more bread?
I love
We
it.
would stop them when they were refilling our water. She's like, so they couldn't say no. Like we were just asking everybody that walked by, keep that bread coming. I was dying. I was like,
And you think about the
That's my
servers who
daughter.
are like serving these this table.
They were in hell. So then she's like, Megan, her friend, was telling the server, he comes up and she's like, just so you know, to begin with, we're going to do 4 separate checks. And he goes, no.
Yeah, no.
No, this is New York City. He's
We don't
like,
do that.
You can
And
do
then-
4 cards.
Yeah.
You do multiple cards.
Oh, you can do multiple cards.
Yeah.
He didn't tell them that, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He knew. He liked these young girls. He just goes, no. And then she said, then it was like super awkward silence.
They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to
And they
do.
all just stared at each other and they
Aw.
were like, okay. And one of them had their mom's credit card. So they're like, we'll just Venmo your mom.
Oh.
Anyway, but I think it was hilarious. And then she came back and then, long story long, then I was picking her up and I told her I could take her friends home. And she's like, Mom, please be there. It was like 7:00 at night. Please be there right when the train comes because she got sick. She didn't feel good. She ate a lot of bread, but I think, I think she also had a really bad migraine. I think just going for the day, it's
stress.
a lot.
Yeah.
They walked miles and
She probably
miles
didn't
and
drink
miles.
water.
Didn't
She
drink
just
any
ate all the
water.
bread.
You know, it was just a, like sensory overload.
yeah,
so she was
definitely.
like, I was so glad you were home, Mom. I would have been so embarrassed to throw up in
Yeah.
my friend's mom's car. And I'm like, I told you the universe.
Yes. It's what you were there for.
I'm
That's
here.
why. Yeah.
I
See?
got this. So.
Oh, I love that story.
Yeah. So I'm here. And I'm so glad because it's been a really
It's been an incredible
Great week.
week.
Yeah.
Incredible
I love it.
week.
Big
Can you
news.
imagine if you weren't here during that whole vote and everything?
No. And guess what? We also have other big news. Michael, did you print out that what we're supposed to say for our new sponsor? We have a new sponsor.
Oh, I can pull it up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And it's big of the podcast. Did
Okay.
you even know this,
This
Chris?
is huge.
Yeah, Chris knows,
This
of course.
is huge.
So, we still have Long Island Wine Country sponsoring our Wine of the Week, but we have a brand new sponsor of the Long Island Tea Podcast, and it is Sands Casino. So, Sharon.
Yes. So incomparable luxury. Sands leaves nothing to the imagination. Sands is a proud sponsor of the Long Island Tea Podcast.
Whoa.
Imagine.
Sands Casino is sponsoring Long Island
Long
Tea.
Island Tea Podcast.
Wow.
Thank you to Sands.
Really?
I mean, truly.
So you're going to hear a lot about them because they're sponsoring the podcast.
Yes.
And by the way, if you want to sponsor the podcast, or we also recorded another episode of the C-Suite Tea.
We did. I'm super excited about that. I think I had to run out because I had to get the children, but I'm very excited about the trajectory of that. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be great.
So if it's not on YouTube, but you can listen to it wherever you get your podcasts.
'Cause it's just audio.
Yeah. C-Suite, SUITE. And we talked about the first episode was how much do you embellish on your resume? And this one was there's one trait that all CEOs
The number
have
one
in
trait.
common, according to a recent study. And you'll have to tune in to know what
Let's
that
tune
is.
out and find out. And it's brought to you by Discover Long Island.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. And but if you want to sponsor that too, please do so, and also leave us a review.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Yeah, and we want the feedback.
I can't. Like,
You know?
when's the last time? Leave us a review. It takes
we're
2
begging
seconds.
you. We're begging you, hot teas.
I'm not begging, but come on.
Holla at your girls.
I mean, I feel like if you're listening, you
Right.
should do it.
Take a second.
Just 1 second. Just a little 5-star and tell us, or just DM us too. I've gotten some great DMs. Let's talk some Long Island life.
Should we do wine of the week first?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Wine of the week. I forgot
Wine
because we had already a party.
Yeah. I mean, we're like having a good
I
time
haven't
here.
even had a sip of this wine yet.
Oh, because it's so delicious. Have a sip. It's the Wolfer Estate Vineyards 2021 Sauvignon Blanc. The aroma is filled with a beautiful floral parfum of ripe fruit, kiwi, and gooseberries. The finish is classic, dry, crisp, and flinty with nice... flinty?
That's what it says.
And flinty with nice honeysuckle fruit. It is a perfect wine to go with seafood, especially oysters.
And it's just about oyster season.
It
It's like
is.
70 today.
I know. We're getting there. Spring has sprung on Long Island.
Oh my God. Speaking of the season coming up, because, spring means summer.
Right. Yeah,
Let's be honest. Real. Spring means summer's coming. I got the most hilarious email from Danfords.
Oh, you did?
You know how much I love Danfords.
Yes.
Danfords, if you're not from Long Island, is this great inn in Port Jefferson.
Hotel and Marina.
Yes, and it's got a great restaurant. It's the place for the summer, though.
Yeah, especially in Port Jeff. Like, that's the place
Port
to
Jeff.
be. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's right where the ferry leaves and comes from Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the summer, I was telling Michael, like, they have the outdoor area, and it's just... I had one of my most epic days ever at Danfords because it was when I first started here. My dad was here for the weekend or for the summer, pretty much. My friend Terry from Roof Strategic had come out to do our target demographic study.
Right.
And that's when they had this huge glitch and all the flights were canceled nationwide on Southwest.
Oh, yes.
So I took him to the airport and then his flight was canceled.
I remember this. And your dad's flight was canceled.
My dad's flight was canceled.
Crazy. Yeah.
I was dropping my dad off. And then I was like, there's Terry at the airport. I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, my flight was canceled. So we ended up going to Danfords and ran into like a zillion people there because everybody's hanging out and they play outdoor music. And then we're like, you know, having amazing cocktails. And then we're like, what is that noise? And we're like, oh, it's a Billy Joel tribute band playing in the lawn. And then we just like partied all night. I was like, this is, I had just moved here, right? I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I'm here.
Epic Long Island summer. This is how it feels.
Yes.
And so Danfords, they emailed me, and it was the funniest email because it was Denise, and she was like, "Hey, I'm sure your team knows, but we just completely did a renovation of our restaurant and our lounge, and it's called Ferryman's now."
Ferryman's?
Yeah, because the ferry.
I love it.
They have their own vodka brand.
What?
She's like, "We want to be on Spill the Tea." And she's like, if you want, your dad could come.
Oh my God. I love it.
She was like, I know your dad loves Danfords and he loves to come here. So if you want, your dad could come and we'll send him. I'm like, my dad is a legend on Long Island. He's here like 2 or 3 weeks a year.
Oh my gosh.
And people are trying to pitch my dad.
Yeah, I love it. They want Mark.
I was like, he's coming. He's coming in July, and he's going to be here the entire month.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So, Ferryman's is going to send us some of their vodka.
Okay, that's
which
exciting.
We can try, and we can make something fun with it, right? A
fun.
nice vodka drink. And they also own the Waterview, it was formerly the Port Jefferson Country Club.
Okay.
Which is, again, gorgeous. It's right on the water. It is one of the best places. I go there all the time, of course, because it's in my neighborhood, to have like a sunset dinner. You can eat outside. It's so fab. And they just rebranded to the Grille, and they have a new chef too.
Okay.
So anyway, I told them that, and they want us to come and do a remote.
Yes, I'm there. I'm there for it.
She's like, if you want to come and do a remote from the outside deck,
I love
I'm like,
it.
oh
Yes.
my God.
Yes, please.
I can picture it.
Mm-hmm.
Long Island TV pilot.
Long Island TV pilot? Oh, you mean this one?
We were at Danfords.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, Chris is right. So when we filmed the pilot of Long Island TV, that's where of course,
yes.
we had the lobster roll. And
Yes.
I mean, that's where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Danfords, for me, it's my neighborhood, so it epitomizes Long Island summer.
Well, you know what's so funny is we had a podcast meeting the other day, and Alyssa was saying how she wants to do a LITV podcast crossover.
Yeah, that was fun.
That would be fun.
Oh, good idea.
Right.
I love it. Denise and the crew at Danfords, we will look forward to your Ferryman's vodka, and I can't wait to try. I mean, I loved the restaurant lounge before.
Yeah, it's incredible.
But listen, Denise, if you're listening, stock up the rosé this summer.
Right.
Stock up the rosé.
Don't lose out on that.
You gotta have lobster rolls and rosé,
yeah.
but your signature vodka will also be great. So. That's what I have for Long Island Life. What do we got?
You know what? Today is when this airs is National Pet Day.
Okay.
National Pet Day.
I know. I was supposed to bring in Lil Thomas.
I know. I really was waiting for that gold chain, but
I want you to know that I feel like I was ahead of the trend. We talk about this all the time because we named him Lil Thomas. His name was Thomas, but there's already Thomas. So, and now everywhere I look, there's like Lil Baby rapper, Lil Yachty, Lil TJ.
Yeah,
I'm like, there's Lil everything. Yeah. I'm like, I feel like I started this with Lil Thomas, my dog.
It's hysterical because you know what? I can just picture him with his little gold chain.
I need to do this.
You need to just get this photo up.
He's the cutest.
Because he's so cute, little Thomas.
I love dogs. I'm a dog mom. And I love that it's National Pet Day.
Yeah,
because
National Pet
pets
Day
make
is
our lives
April 11th.
better.
It's amazing. They do. You know what? And it's funny because I don't have a pet. I have a hamster, but I don't have a dog myself
I know why.
because of my living situation.
Yeah.
So when that changes, we research every day what kind of dog we're going to get.
Yeah.
And I want a Weimaraner.
Whoa. You got
They
to
are-
be careful. They're smart.
They're super
They're
smart.
smarter than us.
I know. And
They
that's
are.
why I love them. And they're beautiful.
They are beautiful.
Beautiful dogs. Both my kids, both Braden and Pearl, want a husky. And I'm like, you sweeping up that hair?
Yeah.
That's a lot of hair.
It's a lot of hair.
I grew up with many different dogs in my life. Like I've had a poodle, I've had a Great Dane, I've had German Shepherds, I've had a Dalmatian. His name was Freckles. I loved him. He was so cute.
I'm gonna vote that you should have a miniature greyhound
Oh, I love a greyhound. Yes.
because it's like a Weimaraner, but they're smaller.
They're smaller, but you know what? There's this there's a store in West Islip, Michael. It's the comic book store, like the Grand Slam Collectibles or something like that.
Yeah.
They have a dog that they bring to the store every day, and it's a Pomsky. Pomsky. So it's like a husky / Pomeranian. So
Oh.
it looks like a husky, but it's this big. It is the cutest thing in the world. And Pearl's always like, his name is Bodie, I think, or Rhodey. And Pearl's like, Mom, can we go see Bodie today? And I'm like, who's Bodie? She's like, the dog. And I'm like, oh, right.
Yeah, you've gotten lucky getting away without having a dog in your house.
I know.
But the dogs,
If it was my decision, I would have 3 of them.
oh my god, I love. But you're a summer girl,
Yeah.
so a husky is like a winter dog.
Yeah.
I mean, I love myself a winter dog, but no,
Huskies are beautiful.
they're gorgeous.
But there's way too much
They're
hair.
not summer
My
dogs.
sister always had huskies. Like all of her dogs are always huskies. So I think that's where that's coming from. But no,
So it's National Pet Day.
National
You're
Pet
gonna
Day.
get a pet? Is this what I heard you say?
eventually, yeah.
I'm getting one. I'm getting a dog with Jackson.
What? Michael's getting a dog with his boyfriend Jackson. You're
He
like
just moved into his
immediately
apartment.
domesticated.
He's like, move in, got a dog.
Chris
His
just
mom is getting it
sighed.
for us because she wants another dog.
Yeah. And I kept telling Michael when he told me the story, I'm like, it's like having a baby.
Yeah, Michael.
Better to find out now if we can do it.
Michael,
true.
I don't know. Like you have a very robust social life. You
I
are
know.
out and about all the time. You know that dog's gonna pee everywhere if he's home alone.
Well, we have like a balcony, so we're gonna get like a little it's
A
like a,
little
subscription. It's like
pup-
a piece of grass that.
Okay.
Yeah.
all
Have you
right.
heard of this?
Oh no, like
For apartment
puppy
building dogs.
poopers or whatever.
It's like a wee wee pad, but it's a
Patch of grass.
it's actual grass.
Oh,
Where you change it out.
this is such city life.
Yeah.
I love the bouginess.
Yeah.
What are you getting? What
A
kind?
mini golden doodle.
A mini golden doodle. That sounds like so bougie. Honestly, I can't think of a better dog
Yeah.
for you, Michael. And Jackson. Congratulations to Michael and Jackson.
National Pet Day. That's so cute. So some pet friendly spots
Okay.
on Long Island.
Yeah.
Glen Cove Mansion. They have up to 30-pound pets allowed in certain rooms.
Seriously.
The Preston House in Riverhead.
No, remember we had them because Duke went there with me
Oh, that's
on
right.
LITV.
That's right.
We
That's
went
right.
and hung out in the Preston house with
Yep.
Duke, right, Chris? My little sweet little Duke. And by the way, I saw, speaking of Glen Cove Mansion, Old Westbury Gardens is having a dog day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, coming up this
That's
month.
awesome. Catpurrcinos in Huntington.
Okay, I need to go there.
It's
You're
crazy.
excited.
Cat-
It's a lot.
Catpurrcinos.
It's a lot. So just.
It's a lot?
over 80
There's
cats.
a lot of
Over
cats
80 cats.
everywhere. Yeah.
Well, I'm not allergic to cats or anything.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is I actually love cats. I just don't want a cat because I don't like kitty litter.
right.
And so this is the perfect
And then you have
scenario.
an outdoor cat. I had a cat growing up. Her name was Mittens. She had a litter like every 3 months. I don't even know what's possible in cats, but
Oh no, I mean like a kitty litter, like the
I know
poopy litter.
But like, so we
She
were.
had a
this
litter.
is like a Long Island. I don't know, Michael. You might be too young for this, but like Long Island thing. You would go to the grocery store with your box of kittens and like give them away. Because
Aw.
Yeah.
that's what we did growing up. Like my cat always had kittens because she was an outdoor cat because my mom hated kitty litter.
Oh yeah,
So she was an outdoor cat, but she'd always get pregnant.
yeah. Well, there's a thing called spading
Right. Well, yeah.
and neutering. I was
So
like,
cute, and you can make money.
And
Aw.
yeah. But then I begged my mom to keep one of the kittens because it was so cute, and I named it Gloves.
Mittens and gloves. Oh
So
my
cute.
God.
And I would dress her up in my little dog clothes.
I do love cats. I mean, honestly, they're so smart. That's what I love about cats. But
That's what scares me.
yeah, that's
You
why.
know?
But honestly, I don't want them because they shred everything in your house, and then they spray, and then they're kitty litter. Oh, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So cheers to this is why when I'd love to go someplace and hang out with cats,
Right.
and then be like, you
Cappuccino.
take care of them.
Right. Exactly.
I like it.
That's so cute. That's in Huntington. Harbor Pet in Greenport, we love.
I love this place, Harbor Pet
Yeah.
in Greenport.
Yeah.
I go there all the time. They have like these amazing organic dog biscuits.
Right.
That they make. And you know, my dogs are so used to like processed dog treats, I guess, that you get from like the dog store, that I give them these organic biscuits, and they sniff them, and they're like,
they side eye it.
What? Yes.
Like, what are you
They're
doing?
like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, I'll take it.
It smells
Yeah.
delicious. Fine.
Yeah.
But then there's the Six Harbor Brewing Company in Huntington, Greenport Harbor Brewing in Greenport.
Okay, let me just go back. The Six Harbor Brewing Company in Huntington isn't just dog friendly. The dogs deliver the beer to you.
This is Six Harbor.
Yes.
Okay.
I love this place. It's kind of like the place I was explaining that I used to go to. Everybody has dogs there.
Right.
And then the dogs that live there and own the brewery, they deliver. And I love the beers are like named after the dogs.
Oh, I love
This is
that.
like
That
the
is
dog
so
lovers.
cute.
You got to go there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Then there's Lenz Winery, and Macari Vineyards. They all offer pet-friendly areas. This is one of my favorites, is Gardiner County Park in Bayshore. This park is beautiful. Like, you can walk down. This is the best place to see the Robert Moses Bridge.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I mean, literally you walk down to the water's edge, and it's a path. It's a hiking path for dog walking and things like that. But I take my kids there, and we hike that path. And you go to all the way to the end, and you walk past all the beach grass and everything like that. And it's the best photo op for the Robert Moses Bridge. Robert Moses or Captree?
Robert Rose.
Robert Moses.
You are still schooling me on this. I love this.
I
Best
need to
place
take
on
you
earth.
there because it really is beautiful.
I love the Robert Rose. What's the best place on earth? The bridge or this park?
The
Michael.
bridge, driving through the bridge.
The bridge is the best.
I like going over the bridge and going to the lighthouse.
Oh my God. I like going over the bridge
Yeah.
and going anywhere.
Yeah.
By
Just
the way,
driving over that bridge.
driving over the bridge, I love going to Captree. I love going to Jones Beach. I love driving the Ocean Beach Parkway, Jones Beach Theater.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing it's the most iconic
It really is.
feeling of
it's typical.
freedom and beauty and
Long
open
Island.
space.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like everyone around you. That speaking of like the vibe, the energy, everyone like there's boats on one side and people biking.
Oh, yeah.
And
There's bike
it's the
trails,
coolest.
hike trails.
Do you ever
It's
go
just-
there, Chris? It's what?
To Robert Moses.
You've never been?
Ever?
Well, you've
You're
been to
missing
the
out.
Jones Beach Air Show.
I've been to Jones Beach.
Yeah, so you've driven across the Robert Moses Bridge. Look, it's the greatest place on earth. I think really that entire stretch.
Yeah.
And by the way, not for nothing. Speaking of when we're talking about Long Island life and Robert Moses and the bridge, what we did this week, that was some Robert Moses stuff that we did.
I
Let's just
know.
cheers to that. If you have not read
Cheers.
The Power Broker,
Yes. You don't have to
know
read
what we're
it.
talking
Listen
about.
to it on audio because
if you don't know The
Millions
Power
of pages.
Broker, which is the book about Robert Moses, and not that we're endorsing him or he's perfect or anything, but he was skillful at getting things done, and he built Jones Beach and this place that we're talking about. It was his vision. So, and I have to say, everyone told him it couldn't be done.
right?
So
Right.
that's what Thomas said. He was like, that was some Robert Moses
Oh, look at
stuff
Thomas.
you guys got
I
done.
love
I was
it.
like,
That's
love it.
awesome.
okay.
So another great place is a Soundview in Greenport and Bonvet. We
Okay.
love Bonvet.
Bond Vet, by the way, is amazing. And like I said last time, they keep creeping out to the east.
I know,
and
you're like waiting for them to come into your area.
They are, because, and it's not like glamorous because they're a veterinary clinic, but you have to have the right people caring for your pet. Your
Absolutely.
pet
It's your
is
pet baby. It's your fur baby.
your fur baby, your furry family, and they have to have the best care. And Bond Vet, they're just a unique approach to real holistic way of dealing with your pets and caring for them.
Absolutely.
I love them.
They love to help with the little and big things to keep your furry BFF healthy and happy. They are full service vet care, from wellness visits to urgent care and surgery, which that's so important. Urgent care with pets.
Oh my God.
You don't know where to look or you don't know where to go. Sometimes your vet is, closed, or there's no,
That's happened
there's
to
like
me.
one
It's
or
horrific.
two urgent places.
It's horrific.
But yeah, so they are really great. They're obsessed with pets. They're thorough and compassionate, and they have convenient locations, and they have upfront pricing. But fun enough for us and our hot teas, we are pairing up with them for a ultimate giveaway.
Oh my God, tell me.
We are teaming up with them to celebrate National Pet Day, and they are offering our hot teas $250 gift card, a bag of their yummy dog treats, and throwing in our brand new Discover Long Island doggy bandanas from
So
our
cute.
merch.
Oh my God.
So yeah, this is our giveaway. They need our hot teas need to head over to our Instagram at Long Island Tea Podcast to enter, and all the rules and regulations will be there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Huge giveaway, $250 gift card
Wow.
to Bon Vet. I mean, my
Because
goodness.
let me tell you, you take your dog to the vet and they're like, I'm seeing some tartar and I need to do some nail clipping. You're like, how much that? It adds up.
Yeah, I love it because my sister has a little Bjorkie. It's called. It's a mix of a Yorkie and something else. And every time she's like, I don't want to take her to the vet. Like it's going to be $1,000.
It's so expensive.
And we always like make a joke. I'm like, what happened? She had $500 bellyache, and she's like, yes.
Yes.
Turns out.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's amazing that Bon Vet is doing that.
Yeah.
Michael, are our bandanas for dogs, are they on the shop now? Shop.discoverlongisland.com?
Yes.
Oh my God. You can now, I have one.
You do.
Yeah. I
You need
have
you
one
need
for Duke.
multiple.
I need to get one for little Thomas.
Take a picture. 'Cause right now it's just my dog on the website. So
Oh, okay. So, by the way, if you buy one of these bandanas, and by the way, if you leave us a review, you get $5 off, which
Of
makes
our
it like
merch.
crazy, crazy cheap. And it's so cute. It says "Where I Belong" on Long Island for your dog. And if you buy it, take a picture of it and
Right.
tag us, and we'll share it with everyone.
Exactly. People
So-
love it. I think that, our hot teas, they love it. They love
Yeah.
to see everybody's pets and things like that.
and
I
they
have-
match the new hoodie.
Oh, and the new hood, and the new hoodie, and the trucker hat.
And
So
the
we talked
trucker
about
hat,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So Sharon, and by the way, go to discoverlongisland.com for our blogs. We have tons of blogs for spring and all the things to do. And this is just a drop in the bucket. But I have some big Long Island news.
Some more big Long Island news?
I haven't even told you yet.
What?
Guess where I'm going this week? In fact, the day this airs,
Where?
I will be at the Bruce Springsteen concert at UBS Arena.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
You want to talk about some Long Island iconic?
Oh my God.
Bruce Springsteen,
Yes.
the boss.
Like the boss. I literally I'm so jealous. Are you going with Thomas? Because I might
yes.
take his ticket.
Sorry.
Sorry, Thomas,
I
I'm
know.
coming.
I know. Yes.
Can I tell you, I saw him at...
I've never seen him.
Oh my God, I saw him at City Field, which is that what it's called, right? City Field now? After September 11th.
Oof.
The most emotional, moving concert.
I didn't even dream of going to see the boss at UBS Arena. And all of the great music.
So excited
All of the
for
great
you.
music artists come to UBS Arena.
Oh, yeah.
And they have been trying. I haven't been there for an event yet.
For like a concert?
Yeah, or even an Islanders
Right,
game. I've been
right.
meaning to go, and I'm like, oh, and it's so great because now you can take the Long Island Railroad, and it stops
directly
right
there. Yeah.
right there,
Right
so you
there.
don't have to even drive. It's amazing, and I was like, I keep trying to find a day in my schedule. I'm sorry. I promise you, I'm gonna come. And then they were like, how about Bruce Springsteen? I'm like,
How about it? How about it? I loved what you posted. Or did you share it with just me the other day with Jamie Lee Curtis?
yes, I did. That was just for you. Where I love
awesome.
Jamie Lee Curtis when she's dropping F-bombs. I just
And she's
love
like,
myself.
Coldplay. How about a matinee?
That's what she was. Jamie Lee Curtis. Sorry. I thought you meant the one where she was like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, Jamie Lee Curtis, which is so right. She's like, I'm just going to put it out there to the universe. Coldplay or anyone. Bruce She's
Springsteen.
like,
I want to
give
see
me
you.
a 2:00 show.
Oh my God, that was so
I don't
funny.
want to see you
At 11 o'clock.
with an opening act. It starts. I'm done. She's like, let me go at 2.
Yeah.
Why is there not a matinee?
Oh,
and I'm
my
like,
God.
oh my God, Jamie Lee Curtis, you're a goddess.
She is. She's
Why?
Queen.
Why?
I know.
What? Let's do that.
I know, but you're going to love UPS. So you're going to take the train?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Who's
Train.
going? Me?
Me and Thomas would be like, So, and the cool thing is that we're, we're hobnobbing. We're in there with some
Oh,
VIPs.
good. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's a great, we'll be like
Networking. Yeah.
I know.
No,
But,
that's awesome.
yeah, I'm
and it's kind
super-
of like the C-suite episode we were talking about. Like, oh, you're just going to a Bruce Springsteen concert.
Right.
But no, you're
Needless
doing
to say, I sent my bio
right. You had to give your firstborn
today.
No, it's
So,
true. That's
They were
awesome.
like, do you have a bio for the execs? I'm like, of course I do.
But wait a minute. Do you get to meet him?
No, no, I don't think so. No, I'm not Catherine Canadeo. I'm not.
Well,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, she got to meet Billy.
no.
Maybe in November when Billy's.
Maybe Billy. Yeah,
Maybe.
Billy. That would be iconic
Wait
too.
a minute. We need to go to that.
And she said we're going.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
she said we're going. And I just think about what I've been able to do here. And like Susan Lucci, when I met her,
Mm-hmm.
that still rings true as one of the most iconic moments.
Oh, you loved it. Yeah.
I was dead.
Yeah.
When Susan Lucci, I got to meet her, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm introducing you. Tell me all about you." And I'm like, "You're introducing me." I thought I would introduce you, if anything. I was excited to introduce you. Susan
my
Lucci
God.
was introducing me.
Yeah.
She is such a queen. I just, this we have the best jobs in the whole
We
world.
really do. We really
I
do.
was telling Michael and Chris and the whole team.
I know.
We have the best jobs in the whole world, and they're just getting better.
They are.
Okay, so I had to tell you that. I haven't told you
I cannot
because I'm like,
believe
oh.
that. Because I'm taking Thomas's tickets.
I know. Okay, so what else did I have to tell? Can we get into some celebrity?
Yeah. So I have some.
Okay, tell me.
Hold on. I know I keep bringing Tom Brady up, but did you hear that him and Reese Witherspoon may possibly be dating?
Shut the front door.
They both came out publicly the other day saying that it is false, and they have not really even met. Which why do these rumors start if there's nothing to talk about?
I am so
right?
here for that.
Me too. That's what I was going to say.
love both of them.
And how cute! Like she's like 4 foot nothing, and he's like 6'9". I don't know how tall he really is, but
love
that's
that.
adorable. Like I'm there for
I
it.
have not heard that.
Yeah.
And I love it. Did you go down the Gwyneth Paltrow rabbit hole at all?
Not yet. No.
So it's done. She won the trial.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you hear that she whispered 4 words in his ear on the way out of
No.
it? There's merch now.
What is the 4
I
words?
literally-
What is
On
it?
her way out, she's so iconic.
I love
so
her.
now there's merch that says, I lost a half a day of skiing, which I want.
Right.
Mother's Day, if you're listening.
Yes.
I lost a half a day of skiing. I love her. I don't love Gwyneth Paltrow goop, but
Yeah,
I love
she's
Gwyneth
weird. Yeah.
Paltrow.
They all got their
trial
weird
attorney.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the way out, she leaned down and they said she whispered 4 words. And I knew what they were before I even knew. I was like, I knew. I wish you well. So now there's hats. I wish you well.
Yes. We need that.
I need an I wish
We
you
need
well
that.
hat. I wish you well. I love it.
It's like the Southern thing where it's like, bless your heart. Yeah. I wish you well.
I wish you well.
That's amazing.
Good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Gwyneth, girl. Can I just give a shout out to another female icon, Carol Burnett, who just turned 90?
90? No way.
And
Makes sense,
Can I
though.
tell you her quote and why we love her?
Okay.
Her quote is, "The only thing she has left to do is George Clooney."
Yes, Queen. I love it. That's amazing.
She is the sassiest.
She is such a sass. I love
She
her.
literally, I feel like, defined sass.
Yeah.
In a time when sass wasn't a thing.
Right. Oh, 100%.
I
She
used to watch
created
her show
sass.
when I was little,
Yeah.
and she'd tug on her ear,
Oh.
and she was her and like Lucille Ball, right?
Yeah,
They were comedians, funny, incredible trailblazers, and so there's going to be an NBC special later this month
Okay.
about Carol Burnett
Oh,
and her
I'm
life,
there for it,
and
100%.
so we got to tune into that. She's such an icon. Anyway,
Justin Long and Kate Bosworth got engaged?
that's been a while coming, right?
Really?
No,
I'm like so surprised at that. Maybe I'm like under a rock, but like
yeah.
they belong together?
I don't know about that. I don't know if they
Right.
belong
Like, I
together,
don't
but
know
they've
about
been
that.
together. They seem really happy.
Yeah, that's
Cute.
good.
I was telling you earlier that they're redoing the movie Fatal Attraction.
I know. And you were telling me the cast, and I'm like,
But it was
what?
terrible. Alyssa's not here, so I was like, the guy from Dawson's Creek.
And I'm like, Pacey.
And we were like, which one? Pacey.
What's
And then
his
I'm-
name? Joshua something.
Yeah, and he plays the Michael Douglas character. And then I'm not a big fan of the woman that plays the Glenn Close. I mean, Glenn Close was like so sultry and sophisticated and
Fatal
scary.
Attraction. Fatal
Joshua Browning Carter.
Thank you.
Jefferson. It's a big.
And then is it Lizzie Kaplan? Google the Fatal Attraction remake staff and see who it is, because I think it's Lizzie Kaplan.
Why am I thinking Sharon Stone? Why?
No, that was no Fatal. That was not Fatal Attraction. What was
Sharon
Stone?
Stone.
No. What was
Sharon
the
Stone Basic Instinct.
Basic
Basic
Instinct?
Instinct.
No, Glenn Close. Remember, and he like it starts off as like an office romance.
Yes.
And then the bunny.
Mm-hmm.
The
What did he say? What?
he's just dying.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the bunny. Then the bunny is like, is it Lizzie Kaplan? Who is the? This is why we shouldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
But
Lizzie Kaplan as Alex.
I don't love her as
Joshua Jackson as Dan.
Joshua
Gallagher.
Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda Peters.
Amanda Pete. Now, Amanda Pete plays the wife of Joshua Jackson, who I'm like, no, Amanda Pete could have played the Glenn.
Glenn Close,
I should be a
yeah.
casting director.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know who is in charge of this stuff.
And it's going to be a series.
It's a series.
A series,
Yeah. No,
oh.
I'll watch it for sure because I
100%.
love Fatal
Speaking
Attraction.
of series, I am like so hooked on Shrinking
Yeah, it's cute.
from Apple. Like,
Oh my God. Yes. Tell me about Shrinking. Then I have one more thing to tell you. Go ahead.
I love all their storylines, every single one of them. I think that's what I love about Apple production is they literally have like these like sneakily little stories that like come unveiled throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
And like you find out like so much. And I'm already like we binged 5 episodes last night because I'm like, oh my God, this is so good.
It's really good.
And I laughed
it's
out
by the
loud.
same makers of Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
And it's really good character development. It's got Harrison Ford.
And Jason Segel. Yeah.
Jason Segel, and it's actually really good character development.
And
I
the
feel
daughter,
like.
I love
Very
it.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times when I'm like, so sad.
I know, but like that's why I love Apple because like it's like Ted Lasso, like where you
Ted
want to
Lasso.
cry, but
Feel
they bring that
good.
comedic
Yeah.
vibe
feel
back.
Good. It's
You
feel
know,
good. It's good vibes. Speaking of Ted Lasso,
yes.
did you see my Instagram? So if you remember Ted Lasso, when who broke up, and he was like, Keely broke up.
Oh yeah,
with
Roy.
With Roy, and he goes,
Oh my God, there's a whole Roy
he's like,
TikTok.
I love these characters. I feel so attached to them. And Ted Lasso's like, oh my God, everyone was shook that they broke up, and he's like, get my breakup CD, my breakup playlist,
mix.
and get it to her. So then, of course, I'm following Facebook, my favorite band on the planet, and they post Ted Lasso's breakup playlist was posted on Apple Music. His whole playlist, like they didn't mention it on the show. They just came out with it.
They came out with the playlist.
The number 4 song on his breakup playlist is from my favorite band,
Gin Blossoms.
The Gin Blossoms.
Yep.
Till I Hear It From You.
Yes.
And they posted it on their page, but it's also got my other 2 favorite songs, like Linger by the Cranberries
Oh my
and
God.
You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette. I was like,
yes.
I'm like, this is the most brilliant marketing.
It is.
Whoever is
It
doing
is.
marketing for Ted Lasso,
Exactly.
the way they did the billboards during the World Cup and the way that he's like, my breakup playlist, and then they post it on Apple
playlist
Music.
on Apple. That's amazing.
It's
I
so
literally shared
great.
it with my sisters. Like even before that, like I was like on Apple, like looking for a different playlist because speaking of Apple playlists, have you listened to R&B 90s
I don't
essentials?
listen to Apple Music. This is why I'm like, smart.
Kristen,
A what?
I'm a Spotify.
Same.
stop it. Go on Apple playlist and our 90s R&B essentials playlist is like I am jamming out
Oh my God.
the entire time. And like Dan just rolls his eyes and laughs at me, but I'm like, this is my jam.
Okay, girl, we're
Every
gonna.
time.
Okay, after this, we're gonna exchange because remember when I told you when Kenzie went to Mexico?
Yeah.
Did I? I don't even know if I said it on the podcast, but she was going to Mexico, and another mom was going with them because you have to have somebody 25.
Chaperone.
And I was really. She wanted it to be me, but I can't fly across the country constantly and go party on spring break in Mexico like I used to.
Right. Right.
So I sent her and her friends, because they were traveling, I sent her a playlist of like my Rocky Point playlist, spring
my
break,
God.
when I used to go there. And I'm like, this is really mostly for me as mom. who's
love
going
it.
with you.
I love it.
And it's so epic.
Oh my God.
I'm like, it is. And it was funny because she's like, your playlist is a hit.
Oh, really? I
like,
love that.
I'm there in spirit.
I love it.
This was your mom's era.
Oh my God, so cute.
Yeah.
No, we have to
playlist is
exchange.
yeah, we'll have to do that.
That's so funny. No, so I started watching Shrinking, and then we were talking internally. We watched Severance. Like Severance is
that's
a
cool. It's
creepy,
weird.
and it's directed by Ben Stiller. It's insane.
Very smart. I feel like it's one of those shows that makes you think. It's not what you think it's about, and it's very.
You know what it reminded me of very much is Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind.
I hated that show.
You hated that movie?
Yeah, no.
That's based in New York, in Long
I
Island.
hated it. I'm sorry.
I
It was
just
weird.
said in Long Island.
Girl.
Oh,
It's okay. Shake it off.
gross.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
We'll cut it out.
Alyssa, cut.
No, it's fine. Shake it off. It happens. Listen, there's a lot of things to be proud of on Long Island.
Yes.
It's been an incredible, epic week, and we are on the cusp of summer and so many great things happening. Next time I see you, we're going to have special guests coming up. We're going to have
my
remote.
gosh, I can't wait.
We had our podcast meeting. We've got so many great things planned for you on this podcast. Summer is coming. This is just the beginning. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
The Long Island Tea Podcast is brought to you by Discover Long Island. For exclusive access to contests and promotions, follow Long Island Tea Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And for questions, comments, and collaborative inquiries, email spillthetea@discoverlongisland.com.